Right, it's time now for Culture, and the Cannes Film Festival kicks off next month on May 14th. It's the biggest movie fest in the world, and the festival organisers have just unveiled this year's lineup. Olivia Salazar-Winspear has been at the press briefing on the Champs-Élysées. She's here with me now. Olivia, what can you tell us then about some of the films at Cannes next month?
Well, if there's an overall theme, the director of the festival, Thierry Frémaux, called it romantic and political, which I think covers every aspect of the human experience, so we're covered everywhere. I think in terms of filmmakers, it's a real return of the heavyweights at Cannes. You've got directors like Ken Loach presenting his latest film called Sorry We Missed You, and that's written with Paul Laverty, the man with whom he won the Golden Palm in 2016 for I, Daniel Blake, so he's a familiar face on the Cannes Croisette there at the festival. He previously won a Golden Palm as well. Another winner was Terrence Malick, who won in 2011 for The Tree of Life. This year's film that he's presenting is called Hidden Life. It's set during World War II, and it stars the Belgian actor Matthias Schoenaerts. And staying with Belgian talent, two brothers who are also familiar with those little gold statuettes are the Dardenne brothers from Belgium. They're presenting their latest film, which is called Young Ahmed. And given that they're very known for gritty social realism, I think we can expect this film to tackle things that are in the news both in Belgium and in Europe more generally, perhaps Islamic fundamentalism. Pedro Almodvar, the Spanish filmmaker, is back with Pain and Glory, a film that's been described as autobiographical to a certain extent, and Almodvar was the president of the jury at Cannes in 2017, so he's someone who's well known to the festival. That's very much the older generation. But in terms of the new generation, we can see an emergence of a sort of school, if you like, that if it's not French, it's French-speaking, francophone, as we say here. Starting with Xavier Dolan, the wonder kid of Québécois cinema, is back with a film called Mathias and Maxime, in which he also stars. Representing France, Céline Sciamma, Justine Triet will be presenting films there. Ladji Lee, a newcomer, his first film called Les Misérables, which talks about life, the reality of life in the French suburbs. And also Mati Diop, a filmmaker from Senegal. She'll be presenting her latest film there. So we're seeing this renewal of talent as well.
And in that younger generation, quite a few female directors.
Yes, indeed. Thierry Frémaux, director of the festival, said that they really are still working on getting more female filmmakers represented at the festival. And one way to do that is via their selection committee. They have 50-50 men and women choosing the films. Another way, of course, is the homage that they're doing on this year's poster, which is that poster you can see featuring Agnès Varda. They had a word for the filmmaker who passed away last month during the press conference. The president of the Cannes Film Festival, Pierre Lescure, talked very affectionately about her. You can see her there filming her first long feature, La Pointe Courte, in 1954 in her hometown of Sète. That film was presented at the Cannes Film Festival in 1955. She was only 26 when she made it, and there she was, climbing on top of her technician, showing her real creativity and determination when it came to making films. Now, going to the new generation, as you pointed out, quite a lot of female filmmakers in the official selection. I must admit, I was a little bit disappointed not to hear Greta Gerwig's name, because the actress and director had been tipped to appear at the festival with her adaptation of the 19th century novel Little Women, which stars Saoirse Ronan and Emma Watson. However, it's not sure that she won't be there, because at Cannes, some films are always being finished right at the last minute. People are editing until the last minute, and they often announce a few surprise entries later on.
So that's the thing, it's not the final list of films then?
No, it's not the final list, and there was definitely one film on everybody's lips in that room this morning, and that was the upcoming film from Quentin Tarantino, and a question was asked about that. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. People want to know if it will be showing at Cannes. Thierry Frémaux was very honest. He said he'd seen most of the film, that Tarantino has finished most of the film, but it's not entirely completed. He's still doing the final sprint in the editing room, and fingers are crossed that it will be done in time for May 14th when the festival opens. But US cinema will be represented by someone else and on the opening night, and that is Jim Jarmusch with his recent zombie comedy horror film, which is called The Dead Don't Die. That's opening the film. It will also go on general release the same day here in France, starring Adam Driver, Bill Murray and Tilda Swinton, with whom he's already worked. I think we can take a look at this short clip.
Oh, man, this isn't going to end well.
When I was a boy, I thought about
They gravitate towards things they did when they were alive. Coffee.
Chardonnay.
Did she just say Chardonnay?
Yeah, she did.
zombies.
So Jim Jarmusch's The Dead Don't Die will be appearing in the official selection, competing for the top prize, the Golden Palm. But they also announced some of the films that were in special screenings. They won't be in competition. And we've got the biopic of Elton John, Rocket Man, that will be playing at Cannes. And Elton John will be there himself, so perhaps we'll get a bit of music from him, who knows. And also a documentary by Asif Kapadia, who's famous for doing documentaries on Ayrton Senna, Amy Winehouse. This time he's put his lens on Diego Maradona, so there's plenty coming up at the Cannes Film Festival.
Plenty to look forward to. All right, thank you very much, Olivia.